All right, guys, so I was talking to this friend of mine the other day, and he was practically having a nervous breakdown over posting a video on YouTube. He has had this big dream of quitting his job, starting his own online business, and creating content on YouTube for a while, and yet he has not pulled the trigger because he's so concerned about what will happen if he does it. Will other people judge him? Things like that. And so he asked me, how is it that I deal with judgment? How is it that I seem to not care what other people think of me? And here's what I told him. All right, guys, so I'll be honest. I have pretty much become the master of not giving a shit at this point, straight up. At this point, I dropped out of college when that was not trendy. All my friends were in college. I said, you know what, this isn't for me. Dropped out, got my real estate license. I got judged for that. I started a YouTube channel. I got judged for that. I quit my stable job that I had and moved across the country to start an online business. Got judgment for that. My entire social life used to be people who drank and smoked, and I got judged for that when I quit doing both of those things. I was the first one to quit doing it out of the group. Started a fitness Instagram business back in 2018. I think I was the only person in my town at the time who had done anything like that. I had people making fun of me for that. But here's the thing that's really important to understand, is that I used to be terrified of what other people thought of me. So where I'm at right now, it's not special. This is not some magic thing. I was not born with the ability to not care what people think of me. I genuinely used to be terrified. I remember being in high school, I wouldn't even open my mouth in class because I was scared of what people would think of me. I remember being so self-conscious because I was afraid of people's judgment that when I played high school football my senior year, I was just so in my head the whole time that I was awful. I was absolutely horrible. I was exercising at the time, so I should have been good. Like, I had a decent physique on me at the point. But I mean, we would do things like the board drill. For those of you who don't know, the board drill is where you'll line two people up and the coach says like hike and you both like run into each other. It's like basically who can tackle the other person. It's very like a test of wills and strength. I was so nervous in my head and afraid of what other people were thinking of me that I lost the board drill every single time. I would lose to weaker people. I would lose to skinnier people because I was terrified of people watching me. I was incredibly self-conscious. Like I said, did not speak in class. I was afraid to talk to women. I mean, I genuinely cared so much what people thought of me. And when you're living like this, when you're afraid of what people think of you, when the judgment of others matters, when their approval matters, you're not living the life that you actually want to live. You're not making the decisions you want to make. You're running everything through this filter of how other people are going to react to it. Is this what other people think is a good idea? It never crosses your mind what's a good idea for you. And what happens when you live this way, and I just thought I'm going to put some pictures up on screen for this, is you live like a degenerate. And so what I mean by that is when you're living for what other people want you to do in your life, and it's not what you want to do with your life, you look at your future and you see something that isn't inspiring because it's what other people told you to do, not what you want to do. And when your future's not inspiring, you don't sacrifice for the future. You're not willing to work hard because the future doesn't feel like it's worth working for. So all you do is just turn into somebody who chases hedonism all day. And that's what I did. So when I was concerned with the approval of other people, I was the kind of guy who drank basically every night, smoked weed all the time, failed college classes. I became extremely nihilistic. I was semi-depressed at this point. This is around 18, 19, 20-ish years old. This is what I'm going through at this point because I'm so worried about what other people think of me that I am on a life path that they approve of, but that I don't approve of. But finally, a question came to my mind, and this question genuinely changed my life. And that question was, what is your life going to look like if you're controlled by other people? And so what I want you to do now is ask yourself this question. And the rest of this video, we're going to discuss this idea of what is your life going to be like if you are controlled by other people? And asking this question is the key to not caring what people think of you. The thing that actually caused me to stop caring what other people think and live my life for me authentically was not some hack, some list. It was harsh truth. And so what you're getting ready to see here is a vision board that is going to show you what your life is going to look like if you let other people tell you how to live it. So let's get started. This is your life if you care what other people think of you. That's your commute every single day. That's the life that you live. 5 days a week, you're sitting in traffic on the way to some office. Here's the car you're driving, some basic ass car, okay? You're like 24 years old, you're driving one of these freaking cars right here. And again, I'm not saying you can't drive one of these cars if you have one of these cars, but the point I'm making is This is the life that you are told you should want by society. This is the life that people approve of. They approve of this car. They approve of this commute. This is your life if you're worried about doing what other people tell you is a smart job. Now look at this picture here. I want you to imagine you are $40,000 in student debt right now. You just graduated with a business administration degree. You don't know why you got it. You just went to college because that's what everyone told you to do. And now you've got some job paying you $35,000, $40,000 a year. You don't like the job. You don't even know what the company does practically. It's like an upholstery company or something. It's one of these multinational corporations that does a bunch of stuff that you're not passionate about. Like they make adhesives, or they're a banking finance company, or like whatever. They do all this stuff and you're just like working in the corner of the company, making some income. You barely even know what you do. It's just like you fill stuff out on a spreadsheet. It's a December morning, it's 40 degrees out, you go outside, you get in your car, this is what you see. And this is your future. Sitting in this car, you're gonna go sit in this commute for the next 40 years, doing stuff that you don't even care about. You got a degree that you don't care about. You're in debt for something you didn't care about. This is what happens when you live for what other people want you to do with your life. This is where you end up. Driving a Kia to a job you hate, stuck in traffic. But it gets better. When you get to the office, this is what you're looking at. Fluorescent lights, cubicle. I mean, genuinely, like, this looks like something out of a horror movie to me. I'll be honest. And, like, I'm telling you guys, because when this hit me, this is when I stopped giving a shit what other people thought of me. I was like, I get fired up watching this. I get emotional seeing these pictures because I'm like, this cannot be it. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? This is life. And when you're leaving, this is you. On your way back from work, you got done spending 8 hours listening to Bonnie in HR talk about some nonsense. And you think, you know what, maybe I'm getting paid well, at least. You know, these corporate jobs, maybe you're getting paid well. Well, you'd be wrong. Okay? You're a billing specialist. I love how they always give these things special names for the fact that you have some soul-killing job that you barely can describe what you do when somebody asks you, and they fluff it up with these things. Billing specialist, event coordinator right here. So we got billing specialist, 45 to 60K. These are just jobs. I literally went on Indeed and I just put in full-time jobs and was like, what comes up, okay? Billing specialist, 45 to 60K per year. Administrative assistant, 37 to 45K per year. Social media manager and event coordinator, $50,000 a year. And I had to put this on here because honestly, the gall to put this kind of thing on the internet to me is insane. Like, I feel for guys working the corporate thing. Like, I remember there was a point in my life where I was trying to find a job. I just needed stable income. I was trying to figure out business stuff. And I remember going on there, I was like, this is it? This is the options we're given in life? No wonder people hate these jobs. This is terrible. You can't get paid anything, and the expectations are insane. Like, I had to show this. Like, the gall to put this kind of thing on the internet for people. $50,000 per year, and they want you to have a bachelor's degree. They want you to have 2 years. This is required. 2 years of social media content creation, events management, and marketing. They want you to work 10-hour shifts and weekends as needed. $50,000. The gall. Take your taxes out from Uncle Sam and you're making like $3,400 a month take home? For a college degree, guys. You spent $100,000 on that degree and this is what it got you, okay? And you didn't even want the degree. That's the point. The person right here, they went to college because people told them to go to college. They didn't have a plan. This was me, guys. I was going to college because that's just what I thought you did. And this is the thing I thought I was going to do. And this is when I saw this kind of stuff. I was like, this cannot be it. This cannot be it. I cannot live like this. Period. This is insane. I look at it, I'm like, the nerve to put this kind of stuff out there for people. Seriously. 50,000 and we own you. Literally 10 hours per day plus your commute here. Let's imagine it's a 30-minute commute. So 11 hours per day devoted to this social media role. You have to spend $100,000 to even have access to the role because you have to have your bachelor's degree. And it's 7 days a week if necessary. 7 days a week if necessary. You are owned for after tax $3,500 per month. Can you even get an apartment on that? Like maybe. But here's the thing. This is the apartment you get with that job. Fluorescent light. I just imagine like there's a fly buzzing around, because every fluorescent light panel like that has a fly buzzing around it. You know what I'm talking about? You can hear it. I can hear it right now. It's like buzzing, the fly buzzing. You just got home looking like this, driving this 45-minute commute. You made this, and this is what you get back to. Fly buzzing around. You just hear it. I can hear it vividly. It's insane. Okay? What are we doing here? This is the life. And again, if this is your apartment, my point in this, guys, is not to say that you can't drive a Kia or that you can't live in this apartment. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? I'm actually moving into a new apartment here soon, and it's not some luxury spot because I'm not going to pay extra for a luxury apartment right now. But my point is, if this is what you're dealing with and you don't have a future that is the one you want it to be, because this is the path people told you to take in life, that's madness. That's depressing. Because, when you're building something great in life, there's a period where you are going to have to make sacrifices. You have to rough it. I've been through it. I'm still doing it right now. I have no plan on living some lavish lifestyle anytime soon. I want to be disciplined and make something of myself for the future. Everything's about the future for me right now. But the thing is, it's a future I want to have. Whereas society and the path that gets you no judgment, the path that people approve of, tells you that this is it. Tells you that the traffic, the car, that interior of that car, that cubicle, that job, that apartment, that's it. And like maybe in 10 years it gets better. But who knows? We don't know. Like you might get laid off and they move your job to India for all we know. You know what I'm saying? This is the life. This is what you're fed. And when I genuinely was depressed when I thought this was my life. Okay? And I hope if you're seeing this, you're like, God, this cannot be it. Maybe this is waking some people up. I'm probably going to get a lot of people mad about this, but genuinely, I hope this wakes you up. And you're like, I cannot live like this. Okay? I don't care what people think of me. I cannot live like this. Because that's what happened to me. I was like, the pain was so high. I was like, this cannot be it. You can all think whatever you want of me because this is not going to be it. Okay? This is your body. And you might be like, why is this my body? Well, because you gave into peer pressure. Because people judged you. You wanted to go to the gym. You followed that guy on Instagram who had a great body. You thought he looked great. You're like, man, I wish I could look like that. I bet I'd get so many girls if I looked like that. But you went to the gym twice, and somebody went up to you and was like, oh, look at this guy. He's going to the gym. What do you think you are? All that kind of crap that people say, judging you. They order pizza, and you don't want to eat it because you want to get on the diet. You want a six-pack. But they're like, oh, dude, like live a little bit. Come on. And so you give into peer pressure and you end up eating greasy shit like this. And you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and that's what you see. And honestly, that's better than average if I'm being totally honest with you. But that's what you see. That's what you're eating. You're just inside. You're like, man, I could be so much more than this. And I remember this part too. Because none of my friends, I didn't look like this, truthfully. I've always been in pretty good shape. But I was always like beating myself up because I was like, I want more. But I kept giving in to the peer pressure. Just drink. Come on, man, live a little. And so I'd go out and drink a bunch of beers that I didn't want to have. Just smoke, man. Come on, live a little. Fine, I'll smoke again. Fine, I'll eat the crappy food. And then I just keep looking at myself. I'm like, God, like this is not what I want. And it's because I keep doing what other people want me to do. I keep giving in to the peer pressure. I keep living a life to make other people happy. Fine, I'll eat the crap food. Fine, I'll smoke. Fine, I'll drink. Fine, I'll skip the workout. It gnaws at your soul, guys. Fine, I won't work on my business. I'll go out tonight. It's just disgusting. And this is what you end up with. You end up with this body, working in this cubicle, driving this car in this traffic for a job that you don't even like. And you're in debt for a degree that you didn't want because you were worried about what other people thought of you. It's just absurd. Now let's fast forward this 10 years because maybe you're like, you know what, it gets better. Like you're not going to be in that apartment forever. Like someday you'll get a house, like all that kind of stuff. Sure, this is your life in 10 years. Minivan for the soccer run for the kids. You've got, this is Fight Club right here, but the point I put it in here for is that shirt. This is what like every corporate guy in his like 30s, like you see a millennial right now, they've got that haircut. They've got that kind of body that I just showed you. They're wearing that baggy white shirt, going to a corporate job. It's like this looks like hell. I mean, seriously, and this is what the reason Fight Club resonated is because, like, the reason it did so well is because people see this and they're like, this can't be it. Because people are like, this is absurd. Everyone knows this is absurd, but nobody's talking about it. And it's like that picture. You're in the office. You're mid-level now. You're not a junior account manager. You're a senior account manager, whatever the hell that means. Again, it's just titles people throw at you for soulless jobs. You're making like $55,000 a year or something. You've been slaving away. Maybe you've got your student debt paid off. Maybe at this point. You've still got some guy who's coming over to be like, hey, did you get that report done yet? And you're like, why am I doing this? And you're worried about his approval because you're afraid of this guy's opinion of you. You're living in fear of what other people think of you. So you're like, God, I hope my boss doesn't get mad. I can't afford to lose this job. Blah, blah, blah. I got to pay for this minivan right here. And my kids' travel soccer league ain't cheap either. Like, this is how you're living. You're afraid of people. You're afraid of losing everything. You're constantly living in fear of stuff. And this is also what it gets you. You married some woman that maybe you were into, maybe you weren't, who knows, but everybody was getting married. And that's just the thing you do, right? Because you want the approval of people. So, like, we're going to get married. And you're over here, she won't even have sex with you. It's like nighttime. You get back from this job you hate. You took the kids out. You touch her on the arm and she like rolls over. She's disgusted with you deep down. And you're just like, what did I do wrong? You did it all wrong. I'll be honest, from the jump. Because you didn't do what you wanted to do. You crushed your own masculine spirit from the jump by living like other people wanted you to live. And so now you're here 10 years in. You got the minivan, you got the baggy shirt, you got the sexless marriage. You got everything you didn't want because you did what other people wanted you to do with your life instead of doing what you wanted to do. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. The life I just showed you won't get you judged by anybody except yourself. You will look in the mirror and hate yourself deep down. You'll be mildly depressed your whole life. You will be wondering why you're even getting out of bed. You'll be like, I really wouldn't mind if this alarm doesn't go off if I don't wake up in the morning. That will be you, okay? Everyone else on the outside will be like, hey, he's doing it right. Hey, I guess there's nothing to judge there, like living life, right? As you gain weight and drive a car you don't care about, no passion. You go to like one vacation per year to the same beach that's 3 hours away from your house, to the same 3-star hotel every single time because that's all you got. No imagination, again, because we're just doing what everyone else does rather than being judged. Heaven forbid we try going to Florida or try going to, I don't know, a national park or something like that. Do something a little bit different. No, we're just going to go to the same beach town that we always go to, sit in the same fold-out chair, crowded public beach. That's where we're going because that's what everyone does, and we don't want to be judged. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you're doing with your life. Nobody's judging you except yourself, and you barely know you're judging yourself. You only know you're judging yourself when somebody puts this kind of thing in your face, and you realize, crap, like, this is my life. This is absurd. And I want to just point this out to you guys. You're going to die. And that might be harsh, that might be morbid. Again, I really want you guys to wake up because this, I tell you, this is the pain that had to happen to me. And so I'm not telling you this to be a dick, truthfully. I'm telling you this because you need to hear it. You're going to die. And the thing is, guys, you don't get a redo on this, okay? This was your life. And when you get done with it, you're going to have to look back on that. You're going to have to look back on the minivan, the sexless marriage, literally 20 years of nothing but your hand. You got married. You paid probably 40 grand for a wedding because that's what you do, right? And again, another thing that you just went along with here. And what did it get you? The very thing you did not want. Every man's biggest fear is what you got. You're going to look back on that, and this is going to be your life. You're like, I didn't live anything for myself. And look what it got me. One time, and it's done. Genuinely, guys, think about that. It is done, okay? There's no going back. It's like sometimes we don't notice this because we don't pay attention to the fact that we're going to die. But like, it's going to end someday, guys. Seriously. And this was it. Okay? And maybe this feels extreme to you, but seriously, a lot of you out there, maybe it's not as bad as this. And so you're kind of coping. You're like, oh, it's not that bad. Is it what you really want, though? Or are you, like my friend I was mentioning at the beginning, holding off. I don't know, because what if people say this? What if I do this? If I make this phone call, is this person going to judge me for it? If I quit my job and start a business, am I going to get judged for it? Like all that stuff. It's like, it's ridiculous. Okay, you're gonna die, guys. Seriously, and you gotta remember that. You gotta get that into your head. It's so important to keep that top of mind. Like I genuinely, I try to remind myself of that regularly. That I'm going to die. Because it just gives you a sense of freedom to act the way that you want to act in this life. You'll be forgotten in 100 years. All of us will be. And let the 2 or 3 people from this generation will be remembered in 100 years. 200 years, certainly. We're going to be dust in the wind, guys. And I'm actually cool with that. And you know why I'm cool with that? Because I get up every morning, I just say, what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to go after? If I wasn't living that way, this would terrify me. Okay? So what are you really afraid of? That's the big question here, because, people say they're afraid of judgment. What does that even mean? What are you afraid of? You're afraid of remarks like this. Somebody saying, you're reading. When I was in college, I decided I wanted to get my life together. I was 20 years old. I was like, I want more from life. I was starting to get out of this malaise I'd been in and figuring out that the normal life path just sucked and I can't do this. I have to go get something. And so I decided I wanted to read a book. I was like, I want to start reading. Like, let's make something myself. And I was reading a book. I was on the balcony of my apartment complex in the apartment. I was outside on the balcony. My roommate comes out, and he probably wanted me to come inside and smoke weed with him or something like that. He's asked me what I was doing. I told him I was reading, and he goes, "You're reading?" Like that. He's like, "You're reading?" Like that kind of remark, like some dummy asking you, like, "Yeah, I'm reading," Comments like that. Comments like, "Look, he wants to be a YouTuber." People say this kind of stuff, right? This is the stuff that people get freaked out about. Don't be lame, bro. Come drink. Stuff like that. I remember hearing that all the time. Dude, live a little. Come on. Don't be a pansy. Drink, dude. Don't be lame. This is so lame, bro. Like, what are you doing? All that crap. Comments like that. Look, it's Keefe Carpenter Fitness. This is something people said to me. I mean, if a lot of guys want to post something on social media and they're afraid of the judgment, though, so that's why I put it here. I had people do this. Like I said, I was the first one in my town to do the social media thing, like seriously. And I posted this fitness account. I was like, I want to post fitness content. I was on a fitness grind. I created it. It was Keefe Carpenter Fitness. People would be like, look, it's Keefe Carpenter Fitness. They would say this kind of stuff, trying to just like chip away at your confidence and stuff like that. And it's comments like that keep people stuck in a life they hate. Things like, oh, wow, he thinks he's going to be rich. I remember I was having a conversation with a friend of mine one time. I was in a group. And this other friend of mine, he has a little bit of ambition too. And we were both talking about, we were going to be like, oh, like first one to make $1 million. Who's going to be the first one to make $1 million? We were like kind of half joking, but like we were seriously like intending to do well financially. And I see out of the corner of my eye, I see a couple other people in the room look at each other and look at us like, these fucking guys, right? Like, who are these guys? They're going to make $1 million. Give me a break. Like those kinds of remarks. Wow, he thinks he's going to be rich. Stuff like that. What are you too good for us now? Things like that. People will say that because you start grinding in the gym instead of going out drinking and eating crap. Or you stop smoking weed with the boys and you start working on a business. What, are you too good for us now? This type of stuff. Oh, you're going to go work out? I would do that because I would be like, hey guys, I'm going to go work out while everyone else is smoking weed. I'll join you guys later. Don't worry, because I was still worried about if people approved of me, but I had enough passion for fitness that I was willing to tolerate their judgment to do it. But they'd all be like, oh, you're going to go work out this guy. What does he think he is? All that kind of stuff. Live a little. Those kinds of comments. People tell you to live a little. So I want you to understand, guys, these kind of remarks, you're afraid of those things. And so you're living like this. You're driving through this traffic with this car in this cubicle to live in this apartment for a job you don't care about. And in 10 years, it's going to get you here. That is what you are going for because you're afraid of these kinds of comments, these kinds of statements. And who's even saying it? Let's talk about that. Is it God saying it? No, it's this guy. This right here is the average person's life. 26% body fat. This is the average man in his late 20s, early 30s. I've been hammering on this recently because you guys need to get this because it's so important. You got to live differently. The average person looks like this. That's 26% body fat. They're making that money, $37,585 per year. and the average American is in credit card debt. The total U.S. credit card debt is at 1.16 trillion. This is how people are living. We got 50% divorce rates. We've got 30% of men haven't had sex in the last year. We've got, I believe it's 60% of men are single. So like, and most guys want a girlfriend and they can't get one. Like I don't even want one, and like I don't necessarily advise it, but a lot of guys want one and they can't get one. Okay, this is the people judging you. All right, they're not people you want to be like. You don't want this, and they're judging you. I want you to look at this body. This body told you to live a little, and so you threw your dreams out. A guy making $37,585 a year told you not to be lame and come drink, and so you threw out your goals and did it. He told you, look at this guy, he wants to be a YouTuber, so you didn't start a YouTube channel because a guy in credit card debt had an opinion about it. Just think about that, guys. Tom from high school had an opinion, and so you didn't do anything because this is the thing. When you think about it in your head, I promise you, you're thinking about doing something and you're afraid of being judged for it. And it's always like one voice. I noticed as Alex Ramosi was the first one who pointed this out. And it's so true. It's always that one person. It's like that one guy from high school, or it's that one person in your family. And they're holding you back. They have got you in a prison in your own mind because you're worried that they're going to tell you to live a little, or they're going to tell you, look at this guy, started an Instagram page, he started a business. Like, they're just dummies. They sound like dummies, all of them. They're hateful because they're insecure and they're not going after their goals. Rico the Redneck on Facebook is going to have an opinion because you post something. And I'm not even completely immune to this, guys. I post content on Instagram for real estate. I post it on Facebook sometimes. And sometimes I still feel that voice in my head that's like, oh, what are people in my hometown going to think of this post I put on Facebook? Are they going to be annoyed by it? Who cares? Honestly, who cares? Seriously, Rico the Redneck saw my post on Facebook and went, whatever, and kept scrolling. That's going to stop me from living the life I want? Seriously, think about that, guys. Or your parents think it's a bad idea. Seriously, if your parents care about you, obviously, like, I'm not saying don't take advice from people, right? If your parents care about you and they have good opinions and advice and you want to respect that, I'm all for it. I don't believe I know everything. I try to take wise counsel from people that I trust and I know have my back. But at the end of the day, it is your life. And a lot of people out there are in a situation where they're letting a family member's opinion of what they're doing control them when that family member isn't living a life you even want. So it just doesn't make sense, guys. And honestly, if they really care about you, then they're going to love you even if you do what you want to do with your life. They might be disappointed if you've got some crazy like father who's like superstar, like he has to be a doctor because I was a doctor and you don't want to be a doctor kind of thing. It's like, yeah, like he's going to be disappointed. But at the end of the day, if he actually cares about you and loves you, then he'll get over it. Because what, is he going to let you live a miserable life so that his ideal vision can be upheld? That would make him a terrible father, in my opinion. So what if you stopped giving a shit? That's the big question here, guys. Like what? So we've already pointed this out. This is going to be your life. This is the person judging you. Like all of this. Now, what if you just threw all of that out? You say, you know what? I see what this leads to. I see the traffic. I saw what you showed me. I see the traffic. I see the cubicle. I see the income. I see the future. I do not want this. I'm going to stop caring what people think of me. I'm going to go live my life. I'm going to go after that thing I want in my life. Well, what happens when you do this? First off, you're going to get a weight off your shoulders. You're just like, oh, okay, like I don't care, really don't care what you think of me. And you find out, as an interesting point to go along with this, is that people really aren't judging you as much as you think. And even if they are judging you, they've forgotten that they're judging you within 10 seconds. It's like this thing, people have like goldfish attention spans and memories. They don't remember it. They saw something you put on Instagram, they went, what a loser, and they kept moving. They forgot that they even saw it, okay? So weight off your shoulders. I don't care. Let them think what they will. And also, when you're confident and you own who you are, eventually people just come around to it anyways and they respect you more. Like you'll get judgment. I get this all the time. I'll do something. People will judge me for it. And then they'll eventually just bend to my will because I'm not apologizing for who I am. And so I get both worlds. I get their approval because they don't actually, here's the secret to this. Everyone is afraid of what other people think of them. So if you just stand up to their judgment of you for 5 seconds, they will cave because they'll start worrying about your opinion of them and they'll just go along with what you're doing. And so, like, it's a huge weight off your shoulders. You get to live authentically. You get to look yourself in the mirror and not be ashamed. Imagine you live your whole life for somebody else. You never went for it. You were too afraid to actually pursue the things you wanted in life, to stand up, to say no to things you didn't want to say no to. It's like, how can you look yourself in the mirror like that? I look myself in the mirror every day. Seriously, and I'm fine with it. I'm like, yeah, like I am who I want to be. And I try in my actions to live as congruently with who I want to be, in discipline and focus and hard work, and in not caring what other people think of me, going after my goals as possible. And it means that I can sleep good at night and I can look myself in the mirror. And I want that for you guys as well. No man should be ashamed to look at himself in the mirror. Seriously. Become the best version of yourself. You cannot be the best version of yourself if you care what other people think of you. Period. Full stop. You say what you believe without apologizing. You know, I know people who will post something on social media. It might be mildly political, not even that serious, not even a hot take. Somebody will unfollow them and they will apologize to social media. They will take the post down. They will say, "I can't believe I lost followers over that. Like, I'm like, this is so disappointing." Like, they'll be so bothered by it. But it's like, who cares? Like, guys, I was running around in COVID with no mask on, and I know it's trendy to say that, like, at this point, but truthfully, like, I didn't care. And it's just like why? Why am I going to apologize? Like, if you believe it's true, like, why are you not going to do it? So you're going to hide your own truth. You believe something's true, but you're just going to go along with the lie to get along with other people. You're not going to say what you believe. That's crazy to me. So, like, if you just stop caring what people think, you can say what you think without apologizing, and nothing is more attractive than that. Seriously, it draws people to you like a magnet. Seriously, women love it. Everybody respects it. Seriously. Everyone else, and here's the thing, when you do these kinds of things, everyone else might be judging you. But guess who won't be? You. You won't be judging yourself. And it's because you can be good with you. You're like, this is who I'm supposed to be, right? And this is not some like find yourself kind of video. Like, finding yourself is a lifelong process. Like, I'm just talking about just going after things and saying what you mean. You'll just feel so much better about yourself. It's like the ultimate, like, before you try prescription drugs, just try this, okay? Just do me a favor and try this before you try prescription drugs. Now, I wanted to show you these pictures. Why am I showing you these? Because this is the kind of thing you get when you don't care about being judged. Anybody who dates an attractive woman gets judgment. Everybody. Anybody who drives a Ferrari gets judgment. People have an opinion of it. Right? You probably have an opinion of it. You see somebody in a Ferrari, you have an opinion of it. It might not be that strong of an opinion. You might not be, but a lot of people, you know, they're going to be like, must be nice. Stuff like that. Or, oh, this guy, he got that girl. How did he do that? Oh, like, and they'll say stuff like, guys, a lot of times, if one guy's doing well with women, they'll start accusing him of being gay or something. That used to be like a young man's thing, and some people still do it. Oh, is this guy, he's gay? Like that kind of stuff. It's like, no, you're just insecure because you can't get an attractive woman. This kind of stuff. Having a physique like that comes with judgment, guys. I'm in great shape. I'll be honest. People make remarks. A lot of people respect it, but a lot of people hate it. They're insecure about it. They judge you for it. They take shots at you for it. Look at this guy. He cares so much. He's a narcissist. He's going to the gym again. Blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. Wow, all he does is work out. All those kinds of things. Wow, your shirt fits a little tight there, doesn't it? You know, stuff like that. They say stuff like this. They judge because it's exceptional. That house, you're going to get judgment. You want to be a YouTuber? Gold plaque comes with judgment. You want a bank account like that? Comes with judgment. And maybe you're sitting there, you're like, you know what? I don't want to be a multimillionaire. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I just want to, like, you know, have certain things in my life. This is an extreme example. These are things I want, but, like, you don't have to want them. The point is, like, if you do anything at any level, it's going to come with judgment. These kinds of things. Go on a vacation somewhere new. People are going to judge it. You're self-employed. Oh, people are going to judge that. They're going to be like, oh, you should play it safe. Get a corporate job. You know, when I was leaving my my last hourly job that I had somebody tell me, you know, you can't put a price on a stable paycheck. I was like, yeah, you can. It's your soul. Okay? I'm not saying you can't work a 9 to 5 and have, like, a meaningful life. I'm not saying everybody's meant to be self-employed either. But, like, if you're working a 9 to 5 job to play it safe because people are going to judge you and you're afraid of failure, yeah, your soul was the price. Okay? I literally went, when I quit that job, I did end up moving to Houston, Texas, and I did end up living in a garage for a month and a half in the middle of the Houston summer. It was 85 degrees at night. You couldn't sleep. I felt more alive than 99.9% of people in corporate jobs, and I wouldn't trade it. It was one of the highlights of my life. I was in a battle every day. I was like, I got to make money. I'm like hot. I can barely sleep. I'm training. That shit brings something out of you guys. I got to be honest with you. Don't be afraid of that stuff. And if anybody had anything to say about them, they can go fuck themselves. Seriously, like honestly, again, I would not trade places with people when I was in that garage. You might think that's cope, but I'm telling you the truth. And you can talk to these people who've been successful. They will tell you about the come up story, and they will tell you they wouldn't trade it. It's just a thing. Traveling the world like this guy right here. You get comments, must be nice. This guy must be nice. You get the must be nice a lot. That's one that happens like, yeah, it is nice. And you know what? I deserved it because I stopped caring what you thought of me and I put in the work, right? But that's the kind of stuff you get. It comes with judgment. All of this stuff I just showed you, the woman, the car, the body, the house, the plaque, the money, the vacations, the lifestyle, it all comes with judgment. The bald head right here, this is me. Bald head, about every video I put out, I get somebody making some stupid remark about a bald head. It's just like, who cares? Some guy in his mom's basement has an opinion about my hairline. Who cares? And people let this stuff stop them. Seriously, who cares, guys? Come on. Seriously. This picture I put up, this was a thumbnail for a YouTube video. I had a bunch of people accuse me of being on steroids, which I am not on. And I'm going to have somebody comment again on this one. Yeah, he says he's not on steroids, but he's on steroids. I'm in great shape, guys. Sorry. Like, call me a dick, call me arrogant, whatever. I've worked for it. I get judgment for it. People say I'm on steroids. Like I already told you, people have opinions about this stuff. My YouTube channel, I have been insulted for my YouTube channel, mocked by people in my hometown. It comes with the territory. I've been judged. All of these people right here, Floyd Mayweather, Drake, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, what do they all have in common? Judged. Some of the most judged people in the world. But the thing is, most people would trade places with them in a second. Everybody, you're probably watching this right now. You probably have an opinion of all of these people. You're a Kendrick Lamar fan. Oh, Drake lost. He's a pedophile. Like some nonsense. We get some comments like that. Floyd Mayweather, he's arrogant. Elon Musk, he's a this. Joe Rogan, he's a that. Right? Everybody has an opinion about these people, for better or worse. Because the higher you rise, the more you are judged. It's a fact, okay? Just think about it. It just makes sense. If you're going to do something different, you're going to be judged. To be exceptional requires that you be an exception. This is, I think, a Hormozy quote. He said, it's so incredible how many people want an exceptional life but want to be normal. You can't have them both, okay? You have to deal with judgment. It comes with the territory. So the question for you at this point is, which one of these do you want? No judgment, judgment. It's your choice. You can be in the traffic, you can have that body, you can have that cubicle, and nobody will have an opinion of you except me and you. We will both have opinions of you. Or you can be judged, and everybody is going to have an opinion, okay? They're all going to be it. You can have the car, you can have the body, you can have the bank account, you can have what you want in life, but people are going to judge you. If it's not this, if it's something else, you can have it, but I promise you, you're going to get some judgment for it, because that's just what happens. So guys, would you rather live a life that everyone approved of but made you miserable, or a life everyone disapproved of but made you happy? That's the big question for you guys at this point. This is how you learn to not give a shit what people think of you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next video.